Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the HCOM Podcast. I am your host, Noxious, aka Nox, and I've got a very, very special guest with me here, one of the OG members as well. We had Mercenario on for our first ever episode, and I've got another OG member, MOCH Insanity. What is up, my homie? What's
How's it
good,
going?
brother?
How's it going, Knox? How's it going? Shit.
Dude.
Long time, man. Long time.
For real, man. For those of you who don't know, this is Abel, aka Insanity. He's been a part of the organization since 2014, I believe. That was Advanced Warfare. Joined in with a bunch of other kids. I think y'all kind of all went to the same school, right?
Yeah, we,
Um,
we we all grew up together and shit,
yeah,
and we all put each other on.
yeah. And at one point, like half of our clan, half our organization was like your friends that you knew in real life,
Yeah.
and they were beasts. Like they were all slayers. They would get we go into pubs and they get 80 kills, 100 kills, 70 kills, and I'm just sitting there with like 2 minutes on the hill or 1 minute objective time. I'm like,
Hey,
yeah,
what
y'all
they
get all the
don't know,
kills.
we used to have to do is we used to have to tell them like, "Hey, get off," because whenever we used to play, we'd play for kills, just start killing people and stuff, and you're playing objective, and we're like, "No, we want more kills."
Right? They'll be yelling at me, Lars, get off the point. I'm like, but I'm an objective player. Yeah, I always get yelled at, but that was fun. That was some fun times. I mean, I think I still have some of that old footage. I have to go into the vault and pull it out and maybe put up a little montage video. Yeah, it was some fun times. But
Yeah.
yeah. So this episode we're gonna talk about who Abel is, Insanity, how he joined, and then how he stayed connected through the years, and his military life. For those you don't know, he was in the Marine Corps for a while, and then he just served his full time. Now he's back in the States, so I'm happy, happy he's back here. And yeah, so how let's talk about who you are and then how you joined.
Alright, so for y'all that didn't get the intro, my name's Abel, or other known as MOCH Insanity. Been with the clan like Knox said since like 2014, I think it was. It was what was it, Advanced Warfare?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I hear they talking about making another one. So in 2025, something like that. I seen that, but yeah, that's who I am. I live in Texas, uh, small town and stuff. Like you said, when I first joined, everyone that was in the clan was all from where we at right now. But hey, things change. We all grow up, but I'm still rocking with it.
Yeah. Now, I would really quickly because we did little tryouts, and tell everybody what your gamer tag was before you joined us.
I think if I remember right, my gamer tag at the time was IT Squeaker, and my other buddy was I think Hydrogen Two Oxygen, but in a
Yep.
weird
Yep.
way. Yeah, that my boy Ray. You already know.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to Hydro. He's an
yeah,
OG as well.
me and him, we joined the clan together, but we ended up lying to him and saying, "Nah, man, we not underage." At the time, they was doing 18 and up for their clan, but just throughout the time, they found out we was youngins, but we were just good at the game, so they let us join. Went through like 3 tryout practices or more, I can't remember, but
It's
that's
about
basically
3 or 4. Yeah, roughly.
yeah, that's basically how me and Ray joined. We just seen them in a lobby, and we was keeping up with them. We were like the only ones to keep up. Really, I think that game.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the games with the sewer in the middle. I can't remember that
It
map.
was it was the sewer, and then there was also the map with that clown. It was like the clown map, where they had all those different houses and shit.
Yeah,
And
let
you
me
go
look it
into the
up. I
house, and
got my computer
there's
finally
a like
loaded.
almost every corner you turn. There was a bunch of clowns. I don't know what the map was called, but I just called it the clown map. But y'all
Oh,
did really well on
snap.
that. Hmm.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Well, my computer acting slow again, but once it loads, I'll look it up to bring it back.
Hmm.
But more too on how I joined is me and Ray, we were in the lobby keeping up with them. And it was weird to say, but I think we outplayed them that game, I think.
Yeah, y'all definitely made a good impression.
Like we Like we was on our shit. Like, and at the time they need to bring it back. But at the time, uh, Clan Wars was very big
Yeah, they do need to bring that back.
because that's how everyone got involved. They had a whole point system. They could see uh who was making the points. I think it was in another Call of Duty they had it too, where me and Ray used to go hard in there, and like it had a whole point system, and you could see who got the most points, who's actually active in the clan.
Yeah, because so they had it was all done through their app as well. They really do need to bring it back. I really loved Clan Wars and how they had it all integrated and the flow of things. It was really good. But in the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare app, the Clan Wars app, you could there was different game modes, and there was team deathmatch, there was
Oh, you had
hardcore
to
team
collect
deathmatch,
the points. You had to
domination,
collect.
surge and destroy. Yeah,
Oh,
and each win you got was a certain amount of points or whatever, right? I don't know if kills counted. I think they counted towards things,
I think it
but
was certain game
it
modes
was the
they had going for
it
each
was certain game modes,
bit.
and if you had six players in your clan playing, let's say you went into a lobby of team deathmatch, right? And that's 6v6, and all six clan members played, and you won that map. It counted as six wins, so it was counted each player. So
Shit.
that was we were able to not only see who in our clan were playing the most and getting us the most points and at the top of the leaderboards, but also each game mode where we were at on the leaderboard as opposed to other clans. And we finished top place. I want to say 85% of the time. I think we got third place one time when they did it, and maybe fourth. But consecutively and consistently, we were in first place. Um, and it was all due to Insanity and Hydro. And then as I think when Deuterino and Alpha joined, they
Yeah, Alpha was a
put in
big part of it. Shout out my boy
Nimble as
Mike.
well. At one point, Nimble was third on the. I think it was Hydro, then you, then Nimble one time. I don't know if you remember Nimble.
No,
Shout out to him as
I don't
well.
really remember.
But he was a goat.
Nah, you
Um,
know who was a goat at the game when they got on? We always talk about him.
there were so
Pyro.
many people. Oh, Nova. That dude changed his name like so many times. I have a whole special about him. I need to get him on the podcast. But yeah, he's the one that taught me how to drop shot. He was yeah, I remember he changed his name from Lynx to Nova to something else like Sniper 8 or whatever. But yeah, he's from Ireland, Dylan. Yeah.
Whenever he
Um
got on and we got on, it was just destruction.
yeah, you didn't stand a chance. If you were on the other team and you saw Mock and all Mock on the other team, you were just done for. And I don't want to sound like I'm, stroking our own dicks here or bragging, but I mean, the footage is there to show proof. Like, if you had Hydro, Insanity, Alpha, Dudamino, you are not going to win, no matter what game mode. And even though y'all were, the heavy Slayers at the time, because, you have Slayer, Support, Objective, and Anchor, those are the four positions we had,
Yeah.
y'all still knew it's like one of y'all could turn up and the other one could just play Objective and still get enough heal time, right? Y'all were proficient and fluent in all the game modes, even though y'all were Slayer heavy. So
Yeah,
that
there are
helped out a
times
lot.
where believe it or not, like man, it's part of the game. We were losing or we lost games too. But there are times where we were losing and we had to start playing objective and just at the time the communication was all there. We were all cool with
Hmm.
each other. We knew what had to happen. We knew one person was better than another one at slaying. So we're like, hey, you're gonna be the full-time slayer. We were able to do that throughout the game, midway through the game, like no problem. It used to just be a lot of communication.
Yeah, and that's all. Though really all it boils down to communication. Those comms. Case in point, if you're new to the podcast, HCOM stands for heavy comms. Of course, it's also mock spelled backwards, but there's a reason why. There's a reason why I did it. It's all about communication. Abel could tell you when the comms were on point, it was heavy, it was tense. We trying to get the dub, especially if we're doing scrims or GBs, game battles, or tournaments. Those comms are hidden. You'd be like push, push, push. Go there, go there. He's at half wall. He's
Hey, but little,
P1 or P2, comms would had to be on point.
yeah, but little did they know that actually, us as being slayers and stuff, we were transitioning the whole clan into being slayers because everyone seen how we were doing.
Yeah. I want to say we had about 40 members, and there were only maybe a handful of objective players and maybe two anchor players. Everybody else was slayers. Dilemma, Slayer. Addy Birder, Slayer. Master EG, Slayer. Hydra, Slayer. Alpha, Slayer. Wolf, he could slay out
Yeah,
too.
hey, that was Alpha Brother. Shout out to him too.
Chris, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
shout out to
Alpha,
Chris.
shout out to Alpha too.
Hey,
The
yeah, I
GOAT.
shouted him out earlier, Mike. Man,
Yeah.
I gotta hit him up one of
Miguel,
these days.
Mikey. Yeah, where you at, Mikey? He pops in every now and then. He's a cool guy. Yeah, there was a bunch of Slayers. And at one point in Advanced Warfare, I want to say it was like towards the end of its run, we were playing Detroit, and even though I was supposed to be an objective player, I turned on to the Slayer
Yeah.
in that game. I got like 30 plus kills, but we still lost because I wasn't on the hill. So yeah, when you get that mentality of, I mean, let's be honest, most of the guns in that game too, they had a lot of guns that were just way too OP in my opinion.
Killer.
And then you can jump and fly around in the air. So I guess
But
everybody at
I
one
ain't gonna
point
lie,
became a
that
Slayer.
took skill though, because
Yeah,
even though like can't lie, all of us play with the what is it, auto assist or aim assist?
yeah, a controller console, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't cross-plat. There was no PC versus controller back then.
Yeah, so we all play with that and shit. So it helped out, but at some point you gotta actually be accurate yourself when you're jumping in the air.
Yeah,
Like,
your shots got to hit.
they do, and then I remember during that time, I think it was was it the Black Ops 3 beta was out?
That would have been the net. Yeah, it was black. So yeah, it was Advanced Warfare, then Black Ops 3, then Infinite Warfare. Yeah. So yeah, at the end of at the transition of Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3, we had the beta. I think most of us had the season pass, and we started playing
Yeah.
zombies heavy too.
Yeah, and I
Um,
remember during the beta, I'd have to look on my Xbox, and you could see we during the beta we were still dropping 100 kills still.
yeah,
I think Black Ops 3 is when we peaked off after that.
I think so. I have to find a screenshot. I screenshotted um one of the games because I think it was four of us playing, and I think you had 100 and Hydro either had like 101 or 90. He was up there. I have to find that photo, but it was just crazy to see. I think it was one of those maps. I think it was like that map with the train tracks and the barn and the
Oh
White
no,
House and everything.
I think I remember what map it was. I don't remember what Call of Duty it was. It was
Or maybe it was Redwood.
one of the ones
Redwood
where
was one
you
of my
could
favorite
walk
maps.
ride into the
Well,
church.
so oh yeah, because Black Ops 3 had the wall running thing. Yeah. Into the church. What church?
It was the church where they had the upstairs, and there's like a tank right below it.
Um,
I'm pretty sure
I
that
can't
was
remember
Black
that
Ops
one.
3.
Cause I know the maps I remember. It was like that cave map that I liked playing for search. For some reason I had certain maps that I really loved for certain game modes. Right, search and destroy. I love that cave map, but they had the other map with the barn and everything that was pretty good for uplink and search as well.
Uplink. Oh my god, been a minute I
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah. Redwood. I like Redwood. Um, it's just you have to stay away from the middle of the map because you just get blooded. So you have to work the outer edges of Redwood. But I did like Redwood. Um, the church.
Yeah,
I know there was a map like in the like it was like
it was where the
I don't know
center
if it was a
was
desert.
it had a fountain, and then you could jump into the like staircase and run across, and then you got the edge of the map was like it was a little snowy.
Mm,
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure
I can't
it's
remember
Black
that
Ops
one.
3.
I have to pull up the maps. I know there was one map. It was like desert, and like on either side there was like a wall one. You could run along the wall on the outer edge, and there was like an AC vent on the back end where people would like head glitch.
Yeah.
But in the middle, it was like I don't know what the middle was. It was some type of I don't know carpet store or something. I don't know. But the church you're talking about? Wait. Are you talking? No, because I know what map. There
It
was
was the
another
one
map that was
the
really
Black
good.
Ops 3 was whenever you could jump up 2 times and then you got your special
Right.
ability. I think it was called like the gravity
Well,
something.
we had the gravity spikes. You had
Yeah.
gravity spikes. You had Tempest. You had I know battery,
Yeah, but we used
kinetic
to use
armor, psychosis. Spectre was
yeah.
my thing. Yeah, Spectre with the blade. Um,
We would run
but
in there and use the gravity spikes and get a like at least a 6, 7 plus speed.
I'm trying to think of the maps. I know there was a snowy map. There was all snow, and there was like a mansion on one end, and then on the other end it was like a bunker, and then in the middle there was like might have been a tank, and then there was a fountain. You
Yeah,
could
that's
jump
what
from the
I'm talking
fountain,
about. But it was a
but there,
church,
but there
and
was no
then it was
church in
a
that map.
regular house right across from it, and you could window to window on it. It was the
But no,
blue
that
house, I'm pretty sure.
oh no, we're talking about two different maps then, because this map was just all snow and there was no church on there though.
Oh
It was just
shit!
the. I'm trying to think of the one you're talking about. I really can't think. I'm gonna have to Google it. Hang on, Black Ops 3 maps. Taking a trip down memory road here.
Yeah, cause man, it used to
I really can't
feed.
think. Rupture, Outlaw,
Let me see. I got my
Micro,
loaded up. Where do I see my caption?
Citadel. Oh, I remember Rumble, Empire. Was it Empire? No, it can't be Empire, huh? I don't even remember these. Berserk, Verge, Spire, Rift, Knockout,
Let's see.
Rise, Gauntlet. These went Redwood Snow, Newtown. Oh, okay. The map I'm talking about is Stronghold, and then I remember Redwood. Are you talking about? You're not talking about Infection, are you? Oh, I remember Havoc, Fringe.
Uh,
Another map I was talking about the with the red barn and everything. That was Fringe.
I think it was.
Um.
What's that one you said? Stone what?
Oh, Breach and Evac. I remember those two. Breach was the map I couldn't think of with the AC vents, and then I remember
Let me,
Evac where you just fall off the map every time. Aquarium. I remember that.
let me see. Yeah, I'm
Um.
seeing Combine. I remember that one. Exodus, Fringe.
I don't.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't see any other ones with the
let me
church.
see. Oh, we used to kill Hunted. That's the one we used to play Safeguard and get a bunch of kills. Oh, it was
Mm.
Infection.
Infection. Okay, I don't remember.
Oh, so you're looking at the map with it too, right? The load
Um.
map.
Let me go back to it. Infection. Let me go back. I don't remember. I don't remember playing Infection on
Cause
the.
I'm about to run you through of how we used to do it, and maybe it'll bring it back to you.
Oh, you're right. I remember that. Wait, that map was called Infection.
Yeah, I,
Really?
I I can't remember, but I'm looking at the map
Wow. But
right
I
now.
remember that because we played Search and Destroy a lot on that. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that map though. I don't remember it being called Infection though. Wow. But yeah, I do know. I see the fountain. I know what you're talking about because we played Search heavy on that map, and we played Hardpoint.
Yep, that used to be the map we used to get feeds on, and with Hunted too. Hunted, we always play Safeguard.
Mm. Yeah, I remember this map. Dang, that's a damn long time ago.
Yeah, brings back old memories.
But yeah, going back to when we were talking about, we went on a little off ramp. But Clan Wars, I hope they bring back that at some point because that was really fun. I think, and it kind of you know was beneficial to having people play as a team and play as a clan, an organization, right? Because it gave them something to do. Everybody would be waiting for people to get on. You getting on tonight for Clan Wars? Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, it gives them
Um,
I'd say I don't. Yeah, I'll say it like that. It gives them a purpose, gives them something
right.
they want to start achieving and win at. Like, oh man, we got first place on this one. It's like an achievement, accomplishment.
Yeah.
Gives them something to strive for.
Yeah. No, for sure, for real. So during your time in the Empire when we played, different Call of Duties, right? Because every Call of Duty was different. How did you find transitioning from game to game? Because you were one of the very few that were still consistent. Some people they're good at one Call of Duty game, the next one comes out, they have to switch their playstyle because they have to play a certain way and they can't keep up, so they kind of fall off. There's a very few players that can actually be consistent in one position, COD after COD after COD after COD. How were you able to stay so consistent with each Call of Duty game changing?
Man, I ain't even gonna lie. It just at the time, I was young. I think fucking let's see. We never said how old I was when I joined because I said I was underage. I remember I said that. How old was I? You said it was in 2014, right? I joined some shit like
Yeah.
that. So believe it or not, I was 14. Yeah.
So that would have been, yeah, okay.
If it was in 2014, then yeah, I was 14 when I joined, or like 15, some shit like.
I think it was 15 because Call of Duty was at the end, near the end of the year, and we had transition. So I think you had just turned 15 if I'm not mistaken at some point.
Yeah, I was a youngin' and just killing it out there. But for me, it was very easy, cause like I actually had time to get on the game and grind it out, get used to the controls and stuff, getting used to how the mechanics work, how the gun fires, how all that. Like there are times, I don't know if you remember, but we used to get on and have mandatory practice, run pub
Yep.
games and just practice our call outs, practice all that, and just a regular game before we could get ready. I think at that time we were doing GBs every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we was
Yeah.
running out do that every week.
And we'd start doing more scrims too. I think and also a lot of things we did every time the new Call of Duty game came out, because the midnight release, you're gonna be able to play like one game and then the and
Yeah,
then the server's gonna crash, right?
I
So
think
what
we'll
we
do
used to do,
walkthroughs.
yeah, we would go into a private lobby. Everybody would install the game, and we'd go into a private lobby and we'd go through every single map and work on callouts. People who wanted to be slayers, they would work on finding the guns and attachments, and work on movements if it was sliding or jumping or
Oh
boosting.
yeah, a lot of don't
Looking
get
for
with you,
spots for snipers.
but
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know. Like they think we just had all these slayers. Yeah, we did, but the trying out process was crucial for
it
slay.
was.
It's like not everyone was able to get it. Like
Mm-mm.
they had to like actually show out and show that they can be slayers. It wasn't just something given. Like it was something that had to be earned at that time.
Yeah,
Uh
we actually. I don't know if you remember that map Biolab, going back to Advanced Warfare, with the hazard vials, those big canisters of gas, toxic stuff. You shoot it and it explodes, and then if you breathe in the gas, your character takes damage. But Biolab, we had a tryout. It was me, Nova, and somebody else trying out two new people. And I'm not bullshitting when I say this.
I
This kid, and
remember
Abel
you
knows what I'm about to
told us.
say.
I remember you told us because we wasn't on at the time. Y'all like,
Right.
yeah, man, we gonna try them out.
Yeah. So we tried this guy out. It was domination. I have the picture to prove it. And I'm going to have Skunk, who's our editor, shout out to him. If possible, I'm going to have him put it up here in the video. But this kid was trying out, again, domination. It's not that hard to do good in domination, right? Just capture
No.
the objective and make it give you. This guy went 2-44. I've been playing Call of Duty for years, even up to that time, for years. I've tried out a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. And I have never seen a score that bad, an individual score that bad. This guy got 2 kills and 44 deaths.
Like, how
Bruh,
do you do that?
bruh.
Like, how do you accomplish
I
something
could
like
not
that?
believe my eyes. Like, I was like, am I really seeing this right? I had to blink and blink and blink. I'm like, and then he's like, oh, so how did I do?
Like even non-intentionally, I don't think I could get myself to go 2 and whatever 42, something like that.
44, 2 and
44.
44.
Like I can't even just get myself to go like that, you know? Not even
Not
trying.
even on my worst day. Like, we sometimes we'll use the term, I'm in the blender or I'm going through it,
Yeah,
like I'm in the
like you
mix.
got off days, like in the
Yeah, it's an
real
off day.
day.
You're really bad. Yeah, you're just getting shit on. But none of us on our worst day ever got that low. I'm like, damn. Like, and even if we did have a worse day, we'd pick it up in some other category, right? If a Slayer was getting shit on, then he'd just get more time in the hill, like
Yeah,
to make up for,
and
or
we'll just switch out.
he would bait
We're
out,
so
he would
diverse.
bait out for his teammate or something. Like there would be something, that he would be like, hey man, I'm in the blender. I costed us this game. I'm making it up somehow. Yeah, like, we got you, man. Everybody has bad days. I didn't see nobody going 2 and 44, and I've seen some really bad players try out and have some bad days. But that was just, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like oh man, how you gonna try out and go 2 and 44? Like, what are you trying out for? A cheerleader or some shit? Like what? Like you want to be our practice squad dummy?
Oh man, brutal. And I ain't gonna lie, but we were more brutal back then too. Like when Abel says, you had to try out and show out. It was more brutal back then. Like we didn't just let anybody join. Now later through the years, our tryout got, we started changing some things and everything. But back in the day, um, yeah, your comms had to be on point. You had to be consistent. Like it was really hard. We wanted to, like, that MOCH, Mercenaries Online Creating Hell. We wanted that to stand out. Like, so we wanted the best, right? And people who tried out, they might have had, good personalities, but if you was not good at the game, you were not getting in.
Yeah, and you had to know what you was trying out for, like, it like we're not trying to run multiple tryouts. We're trying to play the game, you know.
Right.
We trying to get better at our craft. We don't got time. Like don't get it wrong. We didn't have time back then just to be focusing on tryouts left and right.
Mm-hmm.
We had to play the game and get what we had to do and get it done.
Yep. Get it done. I can tell you from Texas.
Ah, come on now.
Get it done. I can tell. He got that draw. Tell you what. And then like there's silence. Tell me what. I tell you what. And then
I
there's no
tell you
follow up.
what, oh man, goddamn.
Oh man. Yeah, but I mean, even in the chats, and I gotta say this because of the climate in which we are in, with people getting offended by every little thing. If you got offended by, like, I'm gonna just say it, being a wuss or being a snowflake, that was the fastest way for you to get the hell out of our clan. Because we would joke around, we'd pick on each other, it would get tense and practices and everything. But at the end of the day, it was a brotherhood. Like Abel always tells me, he felt like he was a part of a brotherhood, and it really was. And if you got offended by any little thing or somebody calling you out because of a mistake you made that cost the game, you had to just take that L and be like, yeah, that was my mistake. I ain't gonna do that again. Because
Yeah, cause we were playing seriously, we
right.
were trying to win. That's all it was. Like,
And
and everyone knew
we
that.
have we had people that couldn't handle the tension or and it wasn't like, when I say tension, maybe I'm using there was some tension, but it wasn't like clanmate versus clanmate. We wasn't like fighting each other per se. Even though there was a few of that, and we had to kick those members out,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But it was more of like, hey, I want you to be the best that you can be, and you're my teammate. We are going to do this. Your name is Viper, be a Viper. Your name is Venom,
yeah,
be Venom. Live up to your gamer tag, right? And some took that, and they'd be like, hey, how can I do better? And we would like go in private lobbies. If somebody had aiming issues, we would go into a private lobby with them and shoot bots, or
yeah.
shoot at
Put
each
them
other.
on the
We'd
hardest
help them,
difficulty,
put them on the hardest thing, put the bots on veteran, and
and
say,
and
okay, this is what you need to do,
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the Call of Duties, them veteran bots are actually legit.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we'd actually better ourselves, but to us, like no, like it was kind of easy for us, you know.
Yeah. And there's some, natural talent. Like I feel like Hydro, Insanity, Deuterino, Alpha, they just were natural slayers. They could pick up a controller and it didn't matter what game mode or what map they would go off. Some others they had to work up to that. We've actually had people who came in who were kind of decent and we see the value, right? Because when we when we be recruiting, we will look for people who had good personality, who could be a team player, chemistry, but also was good at the game. If they weren't like a god at the game, if they just was decent, but we saw potential that they could get better through practice, we'd give them a chance. And I mean, Abel
Most
can
of them, I
testify to
think,
this.
we throw them into the support
The
position.
blender. Oh
We
yeah,
throw them
support.
into
Yeah.
support, but because they're behind the Slayers, so
Mm-hmm.
so that they didn't really have to get in the action, but they were in the action and still seeing how they fit into their role, fit in
Right.
like the minute like we died. So shit, the minute we got killed, they right up there in the mix too. So they had to
Yep.
learn quick on how to become a Slayer too.
Yeah, and if they wanted to stay as a support, then sometimes we would have them go into the initial break. Like if we're trying to transition from P1 to P2, and the Slayer is on a streak, maybe he needs one more kill to get a streak or two more kills. We send in the support player first to either get a kill or get blooded, and then the Slayer
Bait
would get the
out,
trade, like
bait
bait
out,
out. Yeah, and
and we all
they
did
didn't
it.
mind
Like
doing it.
like hell, there were
Yeah, I've done
times when
it
they
plenty of
told
times.
me like, "Hey man, I'm close to streets." I'm like, "Where you at?" And then they tell us, and we jump out there. Like it ain't no biggie. I ain't close to no streaks. I'll take a death. It don't matter. He'll get his streaks.
Right.
Hell, them streaks are what could win you the game.
Yep.
Cause we
Yeah.
always ran. I think in Black Ops 3, I think it was like Wraith, Orbital VSAT, and some other shit. Wrath, I think we ran too.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like we
thugs.
we
Yeah.
we, we wasn't running no like small score streaks. We
Mm-mm.
besides the Wrath wasn't that
I
big up
think
there.
I think, and this is another key too. I'm glad you mentioned that too, because those score streaks, the you were able to get up to three score streaks, right?
Yeah,
And most people were on UAV or something easy because they only get like four kills, whatever. But when we would play, we tried not to use UAVs because when we played scrims, UAVs were banned. If we played rank play, and we'll get into rank play in a minute because that was a huge thing. A lot of that was banned, right? So what Able, aka Insanity, and Hydra would do, they would run the top three most difficult streaks to get, like the last three on the board. I think the first one of that three minimum you had to get at least 10 kills, I think,
I think it
or
was
or
depending
9 or 10
on
kills, so something like that, without dying. So
the
you have to get score streaks. For those of you who don't
yeah
know about gaming, score streaks is these streaks you can use, and you get them by either getting a consecutive number of kills without dying. Sometimes getting XP would bring the meter up to closer
yeah
to getting that.
capturing
So
objectives like
objectives, yeah. So let's say a UAV, you have to kill four people without dying and get the UAV. Well, if you kill four people without dying, then you unlock the UAV and you can use the UAV. If you had like a sentry gun, it might be, get 7 kills without dying. You get 7 kills without dying, you unlock a sentry gun, and so on and so forth. So that's how score streaks or kill streaks worked. Um, um, and well, does still work in Call of Duty, but I mean, they've changed it how things work here and there. But besides the point, so getting 10 kills or 15 kills without dying consecutively is no small feat.
and the crazy
Again, we're
thing
talking
is
about back then,
uh
Yeah.
the crazy thing is if one of us had a orbital VSAT or whatever, the other one would have an EMP for they work hand in hand. So like
Hmm.
so we got both, and we're not just both like trying to figure out how we're gonna do something. We all had different things for it all plays out. Okay, the Wrath, I'm on the looking at Black Ops 3 Call of Duty. The Wraith or Wrath, or I don't know. It says 1100. So that's what, 11 kills?
Yeah, because each kill was 100 XP, I believe,
And then
or
the Hate
100 points, whatever.
basically the orbital uh something like that. I think that's what we ran to. That's 12. and then the Raps was 13, and then the GI unit was 16. Mothership was 17. We didn't really care for the Mothership.
Yeah, we didn't do that because it didn't make no point. Like
Yeah.
the game modes we were playing, yeah,
Yeah, so we'd go all the way up, like all over. We'd have to get 13 kills basically,
pretty much. Yeah, 13 kills.
and then after that, like we'd end up either if we're still going, then we'll go. But if not, we'll just jump off the map or go die because what use are we if we can't continue getting our score streaks?
Right.
One little death ain't gonna hurt fucking once you already got up to them kills.
Right. And this is the thing it always stands out to me, being that from 2012 when I started the organization till now, and looking at all the players, all the Call of Duty games, all the scrims and everything, um, there was a period and time period, and I mean I have to give props where props is due. It was mainly Hydro, Insanity, Deuterino, Alpha, and I would even say sometimes Nimble. Um, Even though they knew their talent, they still played like teammates. They didn't have big personalities or big egos. There was no egos. You see a lot of kids nowadays playing, they want to be the star, right? They want to get
Yeah.
the highlight. It wasn't really like that. It was like you said, one person popping off, somebody else would, do something else. They would play as a team. There was no, oh, let me get my streaks, first, or let me do this. It worked so well. That's why we won so many clan wars. That's why we got to the point where we were in Advanced Warfare and transitioning into Black Ops 3, where we were like top tier. Like some of our players were in the top 1,000 in the world, myself included, as far as search and destroy. I think I was like 1,030 or something in the world of best search
Yeah.
and destroy players. And that's coming from a game mode I hated. And I had to force myself to get good at that game mode because search and destroy would win you tournaments.
Yeah,
And
we got
so,
you used to it.
figuring out your weaknesses and strengths and being able to work on that and just say, I suck at this game mode. I'm going to better myself and not complain about it. That mentality, I guess that's what I'm looking for. The mentality was so different back then than what it is now. I feel like
Yeah, you
the
know who that's
mentality
a
was
prime
just
example?
was great. Yeah, go ahead.
The prime example of that, like, it ain't gonna be for me calling them out because, like, we used to joke around all the time, but,
Oh yeah.
Toxic. Like, he would, have a few falling outs and shit, like not playing good at all. And we would just keep pushing him. And there are times where he was popping off, and we made sure he got his streaks.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't left out of getting it.
Right. And he I mean there was a reason why he became one of the co-leaders. He had a good mentality. He was able to lead a team. It's just unfortunate, he had some things going on in his life, and it just kind of, his mental state of mind just kind of was on the rocks. But before
Yeah,
then, he knew how to be fun and serious. He knew how to joke around. He knew how to poke fun, but also make sure that things were getting done. And it's very hard to find people like that.
yeah.
That can lead a team, because we had so many clan members that we had different teams. So when we did clan wars, we'd have maybe like
We had
four
A
different
and a
teams of
B, or
six.
like a one
You
and a
know,
two.
yeah, we'd have maybe two teams playing team deathmatch, then one team playing uplink or something. And they were all 6-man teams. We had I kid you not, we had so many clan members. It was like ridiculous,
And
right?
there were
So
times where we had three teams going at once, or like three people off to the side doing their own thing because they couldn't get it in whenever
right,
everyone else was.
yep, that's right. So
Like,
yeah, the mentality I feel that we had back then with everybody, well, a lot of them, was great to see. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of the right sentences to use, but it's just I just gotta say mentality wise,
it
of
was the competition. That's
mm-hmm,
like the competitiveness. Everyone was trying to get it at the time, you know?
mm-hmm,
Like, 'cause they might not know it, but there used to be rewards for completing clan wars. Like
Yeah.
you gonna play this much? Hey, here goes some rewards. Like before we didn't know that until like you did it one day and then like everyone
Hmm.
started noticing. Like and then people started playing, but it just they wasn't in the right competitiveness, so that's how come they get dropped on and they don't get on to play with the first and two teams. They on their own program in the third.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's when I started doing incentives. Was the first time when Clan Wars, when I started seeing how everybody was putting in the time. I was like, man, I gotta give these guys something. They're doing really good, and the fact that nobody was doing it for, any kind of monetary gain or anything, but to show my appreciation, that's when I started doing incentives. That's when I first started doing it, and people really started, they were appreciative of it. Like, oh, thanks. They were shocked. I think one time you were shocked. We pull them in into like a chat and like, hey, here you go. What was it, like a $15 Xbox card or whatever?
Yeah, because at that I
Uh,
back then I was a kid, man. That's a lot to me, you know.
yeah,
Like hell, I could go buy me some camos or something, you know.
yeah. Oh, camos. Those were a big thing. We used to always love buying camos um, or or um, card points,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, like
Yeah, man.
that used to be the shit. Like them rewards were it for us. Like we were just kids and shit. So then that was it. But I think the biggest reward you ever did for us was buy us a new game, buy us headphones if we ain't have none. Like man, shout out to Knox, man, Josh. Uh he actually put out into this shit. And it's starting to pay off for him. So it's all love.
I appreciate that. Yeah, even I think what we decided to do, I think it was like right around that time, was if you made a full year in the clan and you did well and was a good team player, consistent and everything, then after your full year, every single Call of Duty game that came out, you get a free copy. I think that's what we did with Black Ops 3, right?
I
And
think it was
then,
because you bought us Black Ops 3. You said go to our
hmm
local Best Buy,
yep,
go pick it
uh,
up. I remember.
yep, and
And
then
you was working at Best Buy at that time.
yeah, I was working at the Best Buy down here, and so I would find out where all my clan members stayed and everything, and if they had a local Best Buy, and I would call that Best Buy store, and I would pay for X amount of games or whatever, because it was a physical copy,
Yeah,
the
bad.
disc,
It wasn't digital at the time.
right? And I would pay for it, and I say this person's coming to pick it up, and then I would tell you guys, hey, I'm picking up something from Josh or whatever. You go to customer service. I don't know how y'all did it. And you'd go pick up your free copy.
Yeah,
We didn't do Infinite Warfare because we just thought that game was shit. So we played Black Ops 3 for the second year, and then after that it was it World at War?
I
Not
can't
World at War. I'm
remember
sorry.
what it
No,
was
it
because
was World War Two, right?
it was one of
Um,
those games. But I think by that point, let's see. I think that was 15. So then the next game was 16 because I gotta get the times right for. Let's see. Let's look up the Call of Duty timeline, before I can exactly say when I actually stopped playing. You know,
yeah. Um,
Call of Duty
I want to say it was World
time.
War Two, and I think midway through that you had left.
Yeah, like because I think it had to
Yeah,
be
it was
one
World
of
War
the
Two. It
ones.
was World War 2. Hmm.
Let's see. So uh,
That was 2017 when that came out. World War 2.
2017.
Hmm.
So they call so about that time frame is probably whenever I stopped playing because that's whenever I
Early
was getting
18,
ready to
19,
go to
20,
the
21.
military.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That sounds about right.
So yeah, that timeline adds up. Yeah,
Yeah, and when I think that's when because I think all y'all kind of graduated at the same time.
yeah.
I
Like
think that's when all of y'all kind of Alpha had a child and had a better job.
nah,
Uh,
Mike was a year before us.
A year before that, okay.
Yeah, Mike and Deuterino, they were a year before me and Ray.
Yeah, because I was think that was around the time everybody, left, and everybody left. All y'all left on good terms too. It was like, hey, just pursued other things, and then we had a new wave of clan members that came in. But
Yeah,
it just wasn't the same. I mean, we had some good players. Don't get me wrong, some slayers, but uh, if I had to really think of a time that was like one of the best, would be from 2012 to about 2017. um as far as like chemistry, as far as like people. I mean, that was like, because 2012 is when I started everything, when we were the Hell Clan, and then we turned to Mock in 2014 when the Clan War started.
yeah, and I met
But
you
that
in 14. I didn't
mhm,
even know the clan was 2 years old at that point. I just found that out
right.
today.
But and that's 2012. I met Nova. His gamer tag was something else. I had met Archer and I met Mercenario. Those were the three OG members, and then we did Advanced Warfare, and we met you guys, and that whole thing, because it was like about a bunch of young bloods, but y'all were like so into it, right? Like I said, the mentality was just, you were in it for each other, you were in it for the brotherhood, right? You were in it
Yeah,
for
like
MOCH. It meant something to you,
yeah,
right?
like
And
let me say this like this. So we got on me and Ray. We were the first two. Next thing you know, it through Clan Wars. Not even gonna lie, we started making little bucks off of it.
mhm,
So then we're not greedy, you know. Still to this day, me and Ray cool. You know, I was just chilling with him. I told you the other day.
yeah,
So fucking we started putting our friends on. We put Mike on, Alpha, and then we put Deuterino on, which is his name Jordan. And then we put Wolf on, Chris, which is Mike's brother. We was putting everyone on. It wasn't just us being greedy and getting paid. Nah, like
right,
if we're gonna eat, y'all gonna eat too. You know.
right. And this showed y'all cared about each other. Oh, and then Backups 3, Reaper came on, Hydro's older brother.
Oh
He
yeah,
came on in
Greg,
Backups 3.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg. And shout out to Veep. He's an OG. That man, y'all just don't know. Every
Yeah,
time
I
I
remember I
get
seen
hot
pictures
headed,
of
he
Greg
would pull me
going
back
down
in.
there. I
Huh?
remember I seen pictures of
Hmm.
Greg going down there. Do you?
Yeah. I finally met him in person, like a year or two ago. He was at Popeyes, and he's like, "I'm coming down there, man." So we made, we found a time and spot because he was down there doing some things, and we found time and hung out, and it was great. I finally met him. I was like, "Oh wow, dang, pretty cool." But
Yeah.
that dude's an OG. But yeah, so you transition out of Call of Duty to play Call of Duty in real life. So
Nah, it
at
wasn't
the
even
end of
like that, man. It wasn't
at the
even
end
like
of
that.
2017, well, at the beginning of 2017, talk about your experiences, in the military.
Yeah, so it was 2018. I enlisted. So this is a funny story, right? Because I graduated June 2nd. Yeah, I was at boot camp June 4th. Literally 2 days afterwards,
Wow.
already at boot camp.
Mhm.
And the crazy part is, at the airport, me and another dude, he was from Dallas, all right outside of Dallas. He wants me to go hang out with him. I'm trying to, but we'll see how my truck acts. But we our flight ends up getting canceled, and we're like, nah, like we gotta go. This is where we're going. This is our tickets. This is why we're going. And shout out to the attendants and shit. They got us on the next available flight, and the crazy part is, me and him were the only two with hair because they already cut everyone hair off. But
Yeah.
we came so late at like 1 in the morning, the barbers left. So we're the only ones with hair in our boot camp, and we're not getting a haircut until a week later.
Wow.
So, boy, man, we got fucked with nonstop.
I
Shout out my
bet.
boy. His name Ramsey. Ramsey. That's his last name. But yeah, man, we was in that together and getting fucked with nonstop. But after that, after I made it through, I came back home for a little bit, then went back for some more training, and then I went to Missouri for my actual MOS or my job training. Man, Missouri was cool. I enjoyed that. Just not the cold. Just not the cold.
Yeah, I can't stand the cold either.
Man, it was snowing and shit. And for people that know about the military and being in a student status, uh, I was carrying the guide on. And so we had a march everywhere when it's freezing cold. And I'm holding up a guide on and holding it a certain way because you got to hold it certain ways. And marching with it, my hands are freezing, but I can't let go of it. I got to continue going on.
Yeah, it's hardcore stuff. And you were in, so this was the Marine Corps, right?
Yeah, Marine Corps.
Marine Corps, gotcha.
Yeah, and
Semper Fi, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hoorah, hoorah.
And then after that, I went to Japan. Man, a lot of stories there that uh can't be said. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
like
I've always wanted to go to Japan. Just throwing it out there. I've always wanted to go.
it's wild. But I definitely go back. But I definitely probably won't go back.
Yeah, I just want to go for like a week. I'm learning Japanese right now because I'm writing a manga or Nihon, which is Japan. And I'm when I was doing my research even back in the day, I was like Japan is like so far advanced when it comes to technology
Bro,
than
don't
we
even get
are.
me started, man.
And
Like
I love technology.
man, we'll go up into a ramen shop, right? I was for people that don't know, I was in Okinawa, Japan. It's a small island outside of mainland Japan where y'all everyone thinks everyone goes. Nah, we're in a small island. Like you could drive from one point to another point in a day. Like it was small, like less than a day you could drive point to point. So but we was out there back to the technology. We was out there at a ramen shop. All we do is go up to the machine, press what ramen we want, what we want to add, what drinks we want, and a little white slip comes out, and then you just hand the slip to them, and they're like, "We'll take care of it." And then they just cook your shit, and they know what you got.
Oh, wow. So there's like a little like a kiosk.
Yeah, like you pay in the machine, like
Hmm.
let's say it's like a vending machine type
Right.
thing. You click on it, order what you want, and then it gives you a receipt. And they
Yeah.
just take the numbers off the receipt, and they already know what you ordered.
Yeah. They're doing that now in a lot of fast foods. I've been seeing like Taco Bell, McDonald's, now they have those, and that's all they want you to do. Like when you walk in the lobby, they just like use the kiosk. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but
They
that was
got that
new to
one,
me
but
because it wasn't a thing.
yeah, yeah, because this was back then. Yeah, this is
That
like
that,
what
that was
5 years
in
ago.
2018.
Yeah,
No, it was
4 years
2019.
ago or
Ear-
2019.
Early
Okay, so
early
no.
2019 is when I went to Japan. It was January. Like the last week in January 2019 I went over there.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was all different. Ordering ramen. Like I ain't never had seafood or none of that. Like I
Yeah,
still don't know Japanese. All I know is hairy cat toes. Which is
right, right.
basically you trying to say arigato gozaimasu or whatever. Which means thank you.
Yeah. I
And
actually, when I was learning Japanese, I actually figured out Gohan means rice, and I was like, wait, Goku named his son after rice?
rice.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
man. But I spent my 4 years or the rest of my 4 years in the military in Japan. I
Okay.
did I did have opportunities to come back home for additional training and studies and stuff for my MOS, my job. So I did have some time to come home, thankfully, because
Hmm.
I was expected because I picked to go over there. I expect not to come back home for the 4 years. You know,
Right.
that was what I was expecting, and a lot of people don't know that's whenever like we lost contact because I was already grown up and shit. You know, I joined the military. Fucking, I stopped playing the game, but that's how we lost contact.
Yeah. And I remember out the blue, it might have been like towards a year into your um marine life, or maybe 6 months in, but out the blue, you video called me, I think it was, on Facebook Messenger, and I was like, "Oh, Abel, like, really? What?" And you're like, "Hey, man, I'm in Japan." I was like, "Man, he's lit."
Yeah, I was probably drunk, man. Hey, believe it or not, that's how I kept in touch with a lot of people. And
Hmm.
and yes, I do regret it, but no, I don't, man. Like
Nah,
at
it
least
was
y'all know
great.
I'm alive. You know, like I'm
Right.
alive and I'm living and shit. Like
A lot of drunk calls.
a lot of drunk calls. Some I remember, some I don't. Some of y'all don't know. I have called sober, and I actually pitched ideas for the clan still,
Yeah,
even
pitched a
though
lot of good
I
ideas.
don't play like that no more or none of that. I still pitch ideas.
A lot of the ideas that we're doing now, concerning like what we did with the website design, how we're structuring things, it's from this guy right here. Um, and the way, you like, you would just be calling just to check in and everything, show that even though you were, halfway across the continent, the world. I was about to
Halfway
say
across the
country, then I still,
world.
yeah, let me get it right. Halfway across the world, he still wanted to call in and check in. Hey man, how's the clan? How are you doing, Josh? How's everybody doing?
Man,
Still calling to
they
check
do
in.
not know like what you've actually been through, you know, like we've actually had deep conversations sitting around talking about it, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do this esports team. I got these teams going and stuff, you know? Like they don't know that like I actually sat there and listened when I wasn't drunk.
Right. Yeah, and like, we bounce off ideas, and I mean, like I said,
Sunday
this guy
fun
right
day.
here. Yeah, Sunday Fun Day was his idea. We're gonna be doing some Sunday Fun Days, where we just every Sunday we just get a bunch of people in and we just goof off. I remember what we did. We used to do like what, knives only and snipers only, free for
Oh
alls and stuff like
man,
that.
we had ideas out our minds, man. That's whenever
Right.
the random class generators fucking
I
like
remember
you could
that.
name it random class. So we're like, man, let's go snipers only, let's go knives only, search and destroy, like or domination, like we didn't care. There are times where like there were times where Josh was trying to play for real, and me and Ray were over there fucking off. Me and Hydra were over there fucking off, like, hey man, let's try to do this, let's try to do that. And Josh over there yelling at us, like, hey, nah, get it together. And we're like, man, calm down. And we still end up winning the game, and he shuts up after that.
It was like, I think one of them was the what, safeguard, where you have to move the bot.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm like, keep moving the bot, and y'all wouldn't even go near the bot. Like, like I would die and nobody's moving the bot, and people are shooting at it, and y'all just running around getting 80 plus kills. And I'm like, come on. And then like at the tail end, somebody would move the bot into the location and we'd win. I'm like, man, what the hell?
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't know we actually argued a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we actually argued a lot, and Like it took a lot out of Josh because we were some young motherfuckers. But yeah.
Yeah, y'all were like crazy. I was like, man, there's no way these guys are 18.
Yeah, but I was in the military and shit. I still try to play the game. It just
Yeah,
uh I wasn't really able to. I played it a lot with a lot of my buddies over there, and that's how I continued playing the game for a little bit. But I didn't really play it like that. Like we got off work and or we got off of a field op, we got off of ship and all that shit. Like, man, we don't. The first thing we think about is not playing the game. Really, it's just really, hey man, I want to be in my own bed. Like fucking I want to take a shower, a real shower, Like I want to eat real food.
hmm
Like that's what we was thinking. Like we wasn't thinking about playing the game. So like I lost contact with everyone really. Like everyone from Mark I lost contact with really besides you because of those drunk calls and all that shit. Like it actually no lie, paid off. Like we're still in contact today. Look at me, man. I'm on your
yeah,
podcast, bro.
yeah. It's important to keep in touch with the people who are like this. With your fingers together, right? I'm holding my fingers together. People can't see, but it's very important. And the biggest thing is checking in on your homies. You know, constantly, always calling in. Checking in, and that stands out. Here this guy is. It's nighttime over there, daytime over here, and he up, calling at 2 a.m. over there, saying, "How's the clan, Josh? How you doing, man?" And like I
Hey,
said,
man,
we
I might
talk for
be drunk.
hours
Hey,
sometimes.
I might be drunk, but I'm still calling, checking in, and some of the times,
Yep.
like you'll hear it. I'll sober up, and then we'll actually start talking about some real shit about the clan, all the way
Yeah.
to like 6 in the morning over there.
Yeah. And even outside the clan, like real life stuff. Like things that we both been going through and shit. So
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and bouncing, like I said, bouncing off ideas and you know, um, it's very good. Yeah. So
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna wonder this, but basically, man, like if they do the math, they knew I was like 14 in like 2014 when Advanced Warfare came out and shit. So, uh, they're gonna do the math. I was 14. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, man. I'm only 22, right? So basically, think about this: from whenever I was in the clan 2014 all the way to now, technically I'm still part of it.
hmm
Hey, you could do the math to how long I've been a part of this shit. From being a little youngin' to being a little older folk now.
yeah, it's you said it's 2014.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when Advanced Warfare came out from what I was looking off this website.
Like 8 years, I would say. Like it would make 8 years, maybe next month, because I think every Call of Duty up until recently came out in November. So
Yeah,
I would say like
November
sometime in
4th,
November.
2014. So yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it had to be 2015 I joined.
Yeah.
So I was 15. I was 15 when I joined. Correction,
Okay.
correction. All right. Well, we corrected ourselves, guys.
But 7+ years, let's say that. I think it's going on 8, but definitely 7 years. Is how long you've been in the organization. And like I said, the only other people that's been in longer that are still in is Mercenario and Nova. Even though Nova, I think pops his head in maybe once a year, and that's when
It's
I,
a rare
tell him
sight,
happy
man. It's
birthday.
like a shooting
Yeah,
star.
I find his messenger, I text him happy birthday, and then I might get a response here and there, and I'd be like, "How you doing?" Then no response.
Yeah.
but but yeah, Mercenario, shout out to Matos, out there in Florida. I think he's the only other one that's been here since pretty much day one or week one. Um, Everybody else kind of like been doing their own thing. Everybody still, keeps it. Some people still keep in touch, but that actually still has the mock name
Yeah.
in there. Yeah, it's not that many, but so you get out the Marine Corps. Again, thank you for your service. I'm saluting right now. Much love, brother. You get out the Marine Corps not too long ago. Get back home. Um, which you excited for, man? You're back in the States, uh, in true Texas form. What you got planned, brother?
Man, what I got planned? Continue working. I'm working at a like a manufacturer. We make 18-wheeler trailers.
Ooh, the big rigs, huh?
So I'm working over there, doing that for right now and shit. Making decent money. It ain't much if I'm being honest, but man, the nigga can't be greedy. Nigga, I just go to work and show up.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't know this, but I'll say this out loud. I was young and dumb in the military, and if you know what that means, you know what I mean.
There you go.
You know what I mean. Like if you understand it, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you know firsthand what I mean.
Yes, I do. Yes, sir, brother. Yeah. So,
Firsthand.
glad you're back home safe, man. You know, I thank you for your service. I'm sure a lot of people who's listening is gonna thank you for your service. Um, and I mean, thank you for your service, military. Thank you for your service continually in the organization. Like I said, I want to say 2014 during Clan Wars to piggyback on what we were talking about was some of the best times. I mean, shit, we did it all. You know, we had fun. We go pub stomp. We do free falls. We knew how to be able to do everything at that time. You know.
And at that time was a peak days, like because believe it or not, I don't want to toot my own horn, but even though me being a regular ass member youngin, I had some say in what we did.
Yeah.
Like me and Ray were Ray older than me, so but me being a youngin, him being a youngin too, fucking we had some say in what we were doing. Like it wasn't just like we come in and everyone running over us. No, it's like we came in and we all had understanding. We all fucking started playing together and understanding it. And they knew if we had some ideas, they want to hear it.
Yeah. Because you guys knew how your fellow clan members who were around your age, you know, what they would like to do or what they knew to, because you knew them on a personal level, not just as
Yeah,
online. You knew them on a personal level, and so with that knowledge, you were like, hey, you know, this person likes to play this style, or this person likes to do this. You know, we want to do this. We don't want to do this anymore, or let's change this. You know, let's start doing this more.
yeah. And a lot of people don't know that's how me and Ray and all them went up through the ranks. Like
Hmm.
it wasn't just happened overnight. It just happened. Like one day, fucking, I think you're doing like a COD practice or whatever. And you're out. You were like, yeah, you're a co-leader now or whatever. Y'all pulled me aside. I think it was Toxic. I'm pretty sure. What's his name?
Mercenario, I think, was a co-leader at that time too.
I
So,
think
and
Archer.
I think Archer as well.
Yeah, like y'all pulled us to the side and y'all said, yeah, y'all getting y'all co-leader ranks and shit.
Yep. And that was a big deal, you know,
Yeah,
because that meant you were ready to lead like a whole team on your own, you know, and
and we did. Me and Ray had our own
mm-hmm,
team for a little bit
yep,
throughout the clan wars. We had our two separate teams and the GBs too.
yeah, and you had to be able to, and that's no small thing either. Getting that title back in the day meant you not only knew how to play each position properly, so that you can coach and lead your team properly, but you had to be responsible and know that if something went wrong, you know, you take responsibility. Even if your team, you know, one teammate maybe messed up, you you know, work with them, but you like, I'm responsible for that. I told him to push that, you know.
Yeah,
I should
you
have told
know
him to
it's
push that, or
crazy.
I told this, you know, stuff
A
like
lot of
that.
people don't know this, but
Accountability. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry,
oh yeah,
accountability.
but a lot of people don't know this. There are times where Knox would come in there. Josh, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a regular member. I ain't your leader and none of that. You gonna boss me around today." And
Yeah, I've done that a while. I think it was I did it with you. I think I did it with Hydro and I think Storm at one time. Shout out to Storm. When he was trying out to be a co-leader. Yeah, I would be like, hey, all right, I'm on the team. Tell me what to do.
the
You
crazy
know,
part is people don't know. Throughout them party chats, oh man, it's pure chaotic. You getting
it
yelled
was.
at for what you're doing wrong in between rounds. People are trying to tell you what to do, and you got to stick in there and stick your neck out and be like, "Hey, shut up! This is what we're doing and shit." Like everything is going off. Like even when you stopped playing and started doing more coaching, you would hop in each party and jump back and forth,
Yep.
and you'd hear how it goes.
Yeah, I heard it all. And the reason why I started getting away from playing was because I was too competitive. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there would be times where we'd be playing pubs, and I'm trying to get us to start working for the next Clan Wars. I would be too harsh, and
Yeah,
that's where Mercenary and Reaper, after everybody got off, they would sit me down and they're like, "Hey, Knox, you gotta cool it, man. Like, you gotta chill, brother." At the end of the
yeah,
day, it is a game, and
yeah.
I
You
thank
you
God
you
that
was
I
pretty
had
harsh on
Mercenary.
us, but like
Mm-hmm.
a few of us actually stuck around and rode it out.
Exactly. Yep.
Like you was actually harsh on us and shit. And there are times where like you said, like we had to pull each other to the side and talk on our own and shit, our personal business, all that shit. Like
Yep.
how well are we gonna succeed together?
Yep. And that goes back to mentality too, what we touched on is like I said earlier in the podcast here, you had to be able to have a mental state of mind to like, if you got somebody yelling at you, whether it be your teammate or your team captain or the leader himself, you gotta be like, all right, listen, you gotta be able to handle that shit, can't just get offended and just, we had a lot of people just get offended or pop off or somebody would say something, they start whining, so they go
Oh
tell a
yeah,
co-leader, and
arguments
then
left and
we're not allowed to name names, but you know what I'm talking about. Some people would say, "Oh, they told me to do this, and I didn't want to do it," and they tell Mercenarios, and Mercenario tells me, and then we gotta get both those players in a private match or not private, a meeting, and come to find out, it's he says, he said, this, that, and just petty stuff, right?
yeah,
But
man,
we didn't have a
arguments
whole lot of that
happen.
stuff though. Hmm?
Arguments happen, but everyone knew,
Right.
like after all that shit went through, if like we were talking about earlier, if you make it on time, you're gonna be with the first group, and then we had a second group, and then the third groups is like maybe twos and threes.
Yeah.
Like
That's how we did it. If you came to practice on time consecutively, you were on the starting roster. And of course, if you practice and showed, then you did your thing.
yeah,
But
but they and
that's how
also
it is.
this, which is wild. Like I don't know if anyone else did that, but the way we used to do it, if you was a co-leader and if it's your turn, you taking the second team,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's your turn, you're taking the whatever stragglers. Like we rotated out. It's not like we left them out there. Nah, there's gonna be a co-leader there. Like
Yep.
there are times like where we were on the second team, we didn't make the first team or whatever, or either like we wanted to come down or whatever, check it out. Like we always stayed involved.
Yeah. It was very important to us. You know, and that's why I say like that was some of the best times because it really was. We were at a peak. It was some of the most chaotic times, but
Yeah,
the best times because I don't know. It was a different vibe back then than previous. Now again, for those you don't know, we don't have an actual Call of Duty team. We disbanded that. We're just more focused on entertainment and offering tournaments for you guys now, and podcast tournaments, Sunday Fun Days, Mercenary Mondays, and merchandise and stuff. But back then, we actually had our own. We started having
E-
Call of Duty amateur teams, esports teams, right? But we decided to go away from that. And I think it was a smart move. But back in Advanced Warfare, I remember Solar, that map. I don't know if you remember that map. I love that for
Let me
search and
see. I
destroy.
think I think I'm on the
That
website
was with
right
the
now. It's
the the,
saying
the
buy
solar
a
panels.
bag.
You remember the
Right.
solar panels,
And
and they had that
recover
little
and retrieve.
water.
Right. Solar. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
see the map. Yeah, I remember it.
So remember, coming back from what I was saying earlier, search and destroy. I hated that game mode. I was sucked at it, and I became really good. I went 17-4 on that game mode on that map. Sorry, on search and destroy one time in ranked play. Um, and that to me
Yeah,
was
we
like my best
did play
achievement.
ranked a lot. Oh my
hmm
god.
And I want to touch on that too. And then in World War II, in another ranked match, it was on USS Texas, and I have the photo to prove it as well. Rank play means you have a certain amount of people playing for rank, and there's some things that are banned for those of you who don't know. So some guns you cannot use, some streaks, score streaks or kill streaks you cannot use, some tacticals and lethals and other things. It's strictly, kind of like CDL rules only, kind of Call of Duty League rules,
It
right?
was a miniature
And
thing. It wasn't a. Not all of the rules were full
mhm.
CDL.
Right. They had even a CDL playlist too, one time. But rank play is you get a certain amount of wins, you move on a new rank. It was USS Texas Search and Destroy. It was a 4v4. I was playing with randoms. One of our teammates left the game. Back in the day, once you leave a rank play match, you cannot join, and nobody else can
Yeah,
join your
it's
match.
like for about like I think 5-10 minutes your first time. Your second
Right.
time it's like
You get like a timeout
yeah,
period.
like if you left the game, you were penalized. It
Yep.
wasn't just like oh you leave a game, nothing happened like it used to be. Nah, you leave a game, you penalized.
Right. And so we were playing 4v4. Teammate leaves. It's a 3v4 now. So we're the man disadvantage here on USS Texas, World War II, Search and Destroy. And I'm sitting there, and I know how good I am at Search and Destroy. I know myself,
Yeah.
right? And I know my confidence level, and I think that's a key too, knowing the difference between confidence and arrogance.
Oh yeah, I
So,
remember that map. I got it
mhm.
put up on my computer right now. Yeah, I remember.
and so we were playing. So I was playing rank play with these randoms, and my team, there's three of us, and the other team has four. And I don't know these outside of looking at these people's ranks. I don't know their skill level that's on my team. So I knew, okay, I have to at least get a first blood and not get traded, so that we could do a 3v3. Hope at least my teammates get a kill, so we get a man advantage. And I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna try to get the opening kill and then plant the bomb.
Yeah, cause
If we're
you
planting
you you
to
used
get the
to be
time.
heavy objective. You were heavy
Yep.
objective.
I was always like the bomb carrier or the guy trying to defuse the bomb. So I would pick up the bomb and I would go get a kill, and then I would plant the bomb so that way the team's time got cut in half so that they have to make a move
Yeah.
because you only get a certain amount of time to defuse the bomb.
Even
And
believe it or not, for the audience and shit, if we were rush planning, we would still let him get the bomb. Like it wasn't
mhm,
nothing about oh you're not a slayer to be up there up front. Nah, you're our OBJ. Hey, you're getting the bomb and we're pushing with you. We're making sure you're straight. You know, like
yeah,
you're still going to play objective, but you're going to be on front line. Yeah.
right. It's like you gotta run a little faster then,
Yeah.
So we played that map. I remember it. It was a great match to play, and the rounds go to six. The first team to get to 6 rounds wins, right? The game ended at 6-5. I had 22 kills and 4 deaths, and we won the map.
Damn.
And that's in Search and Destroy. So I use that example from Solar, in Advanced Warfare, World War II, USS Texas, and the fact that I hated Search and Destroy and I was in the top 1,000 in the world to showcase it doesn't. I don't like, and I say this bluntly. I'm a blunt guy, and Abel knows this. I would tell them I don't give a shit if you hate a certain game mode because you can get good at it
You
if you
going to
really
play
put
it.
your mind to.
You going
Because
to
you
play
have
it.
to play that game mode if you're gonna be in CDO or whatever. But I was like, I don't give a shit if you hate this game mode. Get good at it because you can.
And
I'm
I
living
think
proof you
it
can get good at the game
was
mode.
we all got in a big argument. It was a lot of us in the party, I think, at the time. It was about uh Uplink, or what's the other game mode that was like Uplink? Not Safeguard, but there's another one.
CTF. There was CTF. Capture the flag.
I think there was another
Domination.
one. I don't remember in what Call of Duty, but maybe it was.
I
Maybe it's
don't know.
called different shit. But uh, I remember we all got into an argument because majority of us didn't give a fuck about uplink.
Yeah. I think I remember
and,
that.
and you hated it. You hated that we did not give a fuck about uplink because it was still in the,
Yeah, rotation. Yeah, it was
the
in rotation for scrims and
for
stuff.
like the GBs,
Hmm.
which is like like I said earlier, basically mini MLGs. And so we were playing GBs, and none of us gave a fuck about uplink. Man, Knox yelling at us in the party like, "The fuck are y'all doing? Y'all need to get it together," and all that stuff. And then after that, we had to play uplink. Like I think for the next week, it was on rotation 24/7.
Yeah, I think that's all we played was uplink for a lot of time. Even in private matches, we do mock versus mock, team A versus team B, and we do uplink
Yeah,
sometimes.
we hated it too.
But we got good at it.
Fuck that goddamn game mode.
Hey, what if they bring it back in Modern Warfare 2? What you gonna do?
Man, I ain't playing that shit, man.
I think they only had it in 3 Call of Duty games, and then it just kind of maybe 4. But they kind of now they're doing Control, which they stole that from Battlefield. To be honest, but yeah, it was we had a lot of shit go down, and I think it made a lot of people better. I mean, we actually had
It was a
one
lot
clan
of
member.
behind closed doors shit.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and
like
yeah,
shit that people don't know about, but it been so long, you talk about it now. Like it's normal.
right. There's one clan member, I won't name him, but he was in the clan during that time, and um, he was good at the game, but his team chemistry and his willingness to participate in a lot of stuff was little to nil, and so we had to get booted out. But I came across him again under a different name years later in a different Call of Duty game, and I still had the same gamer tag. And he hits me up. It's like, "Yo, you remember me?" I'm like, "Who's this?" And we get in a party together, and I hear his voice, and he explains to me who he was. I was like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "Dude, I want to thank you so much for um, doing what you did. Even though back then I got kind of offended, but it made me a better player and a better person." I was
Damn,
like, "Oh shit."
damn,
Yeah, it got
know
deep.
about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn, I did not know about that. That's great.
yeah. So, um, but yeah, man. I mean, it's just like we had a lot of ups, we had a lot of downs. We had a lot of people come and leave, whether it be on bad terms. We've had to kick out so many people.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I remember
we
being let kick
we
left
we
and
we
right,
kicked out somebody, and then a month later we bring them back in to give them a second chance, and then
and
they
then
had to
bro,
get kicked again.
like you gotta go through your friends list so many times because you done removed them as a friend, and then you
Mm-hmm.
added them back, removed them, and then like some of the time, you remove them, and then they're not coming back.
Right. Yeah. And that was always hard for me because even though, I was very hard competitive. I, to a degree, I loved each clan member because they meant something, and I wanted them to succeed. And so having to kick out certain people was very hard. Even though some of them deserved it, I was like, damn, I wish they would have just, didn't say that or didn't do that, man.
Yeah,
And it was very hard. It wasn't fun at all. And I remember one time, I think two of my co-leaders told me not to bring somebody back, and I was like, man, because we sometimes we vote, and I think we actually had with you guys a vote one time if we wanted to bring somebody back, and I
no,
think
I
that
do remember this story though, where y'all had a vote if me and Ray should join.
yeah, we did have a vote for that too at the beginning of y'all's tryout, and then
And
I
like
think y'all said like
we knew
y'all could
nothing about it, but I think like it was like we got in by one hand.
right.
So I think the story correct like that. I can't remember. I
But
think
it was
we got in by
it was
like one
like
hand.
it was one of those y'all told us. You either get us both or you don't get none of us or something like that. And then I was like, okay, well, you have to change your name from Squeaker to something else, and that's why you chose Insanity. For those of you who don't know how we picked gamer tags, is I made like a list of different gamer tags that sounded like
That fits
intimidating
the person.
or fit the purpose, and you choose from that list. And if you didn't see something on that list you liked, you could pitch an idea for your own gamer tag, and if it suited everybody, you get to keep that. So some people chose Mock Venom, Mock Viper, Mock
Remember that.
Combat, Mock Insanity, Mock this, Mock that, Mock whatever. Um,
But no, it
but
wasn't always that because for the most part it was. But Ray, he already had Hydro in his shit, so he
yeah, so
went
he
with
chose
that.
Hydro. Yeah, he shortened it up.
And
I
then
think it was hydrogen to oxygen, and he
yeah,
just shortened it to Hydro. Yeah. So
and then
sometimes we do
Mike
that,
was also
hmm
already Alpha, so he just put Alpha on there.
Yeah, it was what Alpha X something, I think, was his gamer tag.
Retro Alpha, I think it was.
Retro Alpha, yeah. And so he just chose to keep the Alpha part.
Yeah,
Yep, that's true.
and then you already know. I don't remember what Chris was, but damn, what was he? I can't remember.
But his name is Mock Wolf, but I don't know if he had Wolf in his earlier gamer tag.
I don't remember. I think he just came on and put it on. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember though when he had MOCH all caps and then the W for Wolf lowercase, and that freaked me out. I was like, put a cap. I don't know why.
I
I mean,
remember you wanted to
grammar
put
and
it on.
spelling to me is just
Hey,
I have
hey,
OCD.
hey,
I
no,
just like I
no.
couldn't stand seeing MOCH all caps and then the W for Wolf lowercase.
Hey, look. Hey, hear me out. I remember this man wanted it every clan member name a certain way. Like, hey, if you got this letter capitalized in the first, you're gonna have it too. Like he wanted all a certain way. Well, here comes Chris. He put it all caps, caps wolf, and Nice freaks out and shit. And the next thing you know, that makes a trend. Other people are making it different ways.
Yeah, Deuterino had it all caps. He had the whole word Deuterino
Yeah,
all
Jordan.
caps. And I was like, but. And it was somebody else who did that. I think it was Master EG that did that too.
I know Chris
Um,
did it too.
hmm I was like, man, but yeah, fun times. I mean, we could go on and on and on. I mean, there's just so much, but yeah, fun times for sure, man. It was a great
Yeah, the
time, great
good old
experience.
days.
Yeah, the good old days. Anything else you want to share, man? Any other insights or
Uh,
things that you remember?
let's see. What else do I remember from playing? Like, cause like we got stories for days.
Yeah.
Like, man, like at our prime, man, like we could talk about our prime all day. Like, even like, oh, there's this one story I remember, right? Like, I wasn't playing the game like that no more. I don't know what clan member, or I think he's an ex clan member. I don't remember. But I don't even play the game like that no more. One day I was on Call of Duty whenever I was over there in Japan. Uh, and I joined Noxious Josh's game and shit and his party. And he's like, "What's up?" And then like he introduces me like to somebody. He's like, "Yeah, he's a co-leader." And I was like, "Whoa, all right, this how we doing it?"
Oh, I think I remember that because it was like your first game on in a while, and you got the rhythm of everything, and then the second game you popped off,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Man, I hadn't played this game in a minute, and I'm still good." Like so, you said something like that, and
Yeah,
you popped
yeah, like,
off.
like, like I
I think I
didn't
remember
like,
that.
I
Yeah,
haven't played, and like I haven't played, and I told you like, hey man, this like my first game on.
yeah.
Uh,
You did say that. I remember that.
and I think you're doing something. I don't know if you're trying out somebody or you're doing something, right? And I just pop up, like hey man, this my first game on. I ain't never played this shit before, but hey, let me hop in with y'all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let me kick it in, and then next thing you know, it like first game off. You know, my first time playing the game. Second game, completely fucking start killing it, and like I didn't know like who was in the party with you. I was just go
Yeah,
ahead.
just you were locked in. Like you were locked in, dialed in, man. I was like, yeah. And everybody's like, wait, what the hell? I was like, yeah, that's him. That's to me, it's just another day in the office for you.
It
I'm like,
was
yeah, that's
like.
insanity. Yeah,
I
I've seen that
think even
before.
after that, I think we went to go play search, and even still, the dude that you was playing with was surprised.
Hmm.
Like we switched completely different game modes, and we were just still, you know,
Yeah, you knew
another
exactly what to do.
day.
It's that chemistry. It was like ingrained. It was second nature for us because you and I have played so long together in rank play, GBs, multiple pub stomps, and we built that chemistry to know exactly. I already know what Nox is doing. It could be like 3 years you haven't played with me, and we're playing search. You automatically know what I'm doing. It's not like you have to ask. Like you just knew. Like I'm going this way. Like it's that chemistry. Me and DW share that when we play Blackout and Warzone, especially in Blackout. If I'm looking right and he's looking at his mini map, if I'm looking at the right direction, he automatically looks towards the left. Right? He
Yeah,
doesn't even have to ask me. So I think that chemistry, that just work playing together so long, you just knew like search. It didn't matter what map. I don't know what map we played, but it was search and destroy, and we just had that chemistry. You knew, okay, Nox is going this way with the bomb, so I know I'm gonna go this way.
yeah. Like I went off that game, and I don't remember who else was with you, but I remember they were surprised.
Yeah. I
Like,
feel like it was London Docks. I don't know if it was London Docks or not, because I remember you played London Docks with us.
it was one of the newer ones, you know, like one of the newer Call of Duties kind
Okay,
of.
so maybe it might have been after that game then, because I remember you popped in a London Docks one time. We played,
I
but
thought,
yeah,
don't want to bring it up or anything, but
then don't.
there were times you said then don't, right?
What you got?
Oh man, shit. Wait, let me hit this blunt real quick and drink my beer.
Get it in America. Got the truck, the beer, the blunt, the drawl.
Oh, you already know.
America. Do
Uh,
you have America on the as a decal on the back of your truck?
hell no, nigga. Do I look redneck to you? No, no offense, no offense. My bad, my bad. Hey, my bad. Wait a. Hey, I don't know
I'm
how
I'm
people get
I'm
on.
messing with you, man.
Hey, man. Hey, my humor and my everything is beyond belief because I ain't even gonna cap being in the military. Hey, man, we say whatever on our mind, whatever. It don't matter. We start joking if it's offensive or not. Like we'll start laughing and shit.
Oh man. All right, what you about to say, man?
Oh man, yeah, man, I lost my train of thought, man.
We were talking about how you came in playing after not playing so long and popped off. We mentioned London Docks, and then the you said, "Oh, I
Oh,
remember this story."
I remember now.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna hate this, but little do the people know you used to hate when me and Ray would be on the other team and we would join you whenever
Oh
were
yeah.
you were trying to play pubs or if you were trying to try someone out, like because your tryout would go completely wrong because you got me and Ray on the other side
Yeah,
just
just melting,
killing
just
it
wrecking it.
against our own clan though.
Cause
And
you knew how he played, so like you see me running across the map, you're like, oh, I know exactly where he's going. Especially if it's a map we've practiced and
yeah.
it's like hard point, and you know I'm rotating to the next hill. You just be sitting
Oh,
there
we
waiting. I
knew.
slide
We
in.
always knew. We always knew. We're like, hey, he about to rotate to the hill. We used to call it out too.
Hmm.
Like between me and Ray and shit, or me, Ray, and Mike, we used to join. You know, like you just like pop in. and you used to hate it. We used
Because
to
y'all would
get
do it on purpose. Y'all would literally do it on purpose. Like, I joined, and all of a sudden, I look on the other team, and I see, like, you know how you see, like, players as they're joining? I
yeah.
see 3 mock players. I'm like, really? Because I'm not a slayer. Like, back
Sometimes
then, I
you
was more
trying to
objective.
try someone out
So,
too.
as soon as I saw Hydro, Insanity, and Alpha, I chalked that game. I literally just knew that I wasn't going to win, so I would just get as much heal time and XP towards whatever I was doing. Because at that point, it was chalked. Like, I don't trust these randoms I'm playing with to go against y'all.
Hey,
So I'm
but
like,
remember,
okay.
sometimes you be trying people out too,
Yeah.
and needless to say, they didn't make it past that first tryout.
We had to do a redo because like that it wasn't fair. Like, you know, we're like, man, we gotta try you out another day when they're not doing that. No, but for those of you who are thinking that's what happened with the 2-44 guy, it was not that. There was no mock members on the other team when this dude went 2-44. Okay, so don't even think about giving that man a benefit of the doubt. Okay,
I
I think
think
his
we
name
was
is.
at school or some shit.
Yeah, y'all wasn't even on the game at that time.
No,
Uh,
like we wasn't even playing. We got on. Next thing you know, the stories start coming our way.
yeah,
I'm like, oh shit.
everybody in the clan had something to say. Like all 40 people were just like dogging that dude. Like, because he never got into our team practice or whatever. Obviously, like his first day didn't go so well, so he didn't even get a second tryout. But everybody in the clan were like, "Hey, you ever checked on that 2-44 guy?" I'm like, my God.
Oh
Like
man,
months down the
we
road,
used
just
to
still talking
clown
about it.
him. They don't know. We used to clown you because we're like, damn, bro, you don't know how to recruit nobody. You let a dude go 2-44 on a fucking tryout. We used to clown him. We used to like tell him like, man, what was in your right mind?
Oh man, but good times for sure.
Bro, we used to clown you for that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was more of an AR player too back then. I still am really, but occasionally I pick up an SMG. But I was more of an AR objective and anchor type player throughout those years.
You know
So,
what the crazy part was?
yeah. So what?
Me and Ray, we used to go out with an AR or a sub, no matter what map. Like it could be a small map, and one of us was probably running an AR on a small map too. Like that's crazy, you know. Like normally you would want to run a sub on a small map, but nah, we was over there running an AR.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how we used to do it.
I don't know either. Just pure skill at that point.
Shit, who knew?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to end this one. We went on pretty long there. Hour and 38. That's pretty dope.
Damn, man,
Felt a little longer.
yeah, God.
I mean, we could go all night, but
Hell no, I got work. I
yeah. Actually, I do
got
too
to be
tomorrow.
at work at tomorrow. Let's see if I remember right. I gotta be at work at 6.
Ooh.
Normally I gotta be at work by 5:30, but tomorrow is 6. So
Well, hope you get enough sleep. But as always, it's been a pleasure, man. You have any? Do you have any social media in your mock name, or is just all your personal?
all my
I
first,
know you have all your personal stuff.
yeah,
You want to shout it out? You want me to put it in the description below, or
hey, yeah,
all right,
my,
I'll put it down there. I'll put the links in there,
wait, you
and
follow me on everything, don't you?
yeah. So I have your links. So I'm gonna copy and paste them in the description for this video, so that they can click on that and go give you a follow, and harass you.
Bet, bet, bet.
But yeah, thanks so much, Abel, aka Insanity. It's been a pleasure, brother. As you know, it's always fun to talk with you, guys. If you have anything you guys want us to talk about on future episodes, type it in the comments. If you like this, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, follow us on all of our social media platforms. It's been a pleasure with the OG Insanity himself. Again, I'm Noxious, aka Nox. This has been another episode of the HCOM Podcast. Y'all be cool, stay safe, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.